What's up, guys? Hockey Dude 1940 here, and this is episode 8 of the NHL 14 BGM mode of the Colorado Avalanche. And we are about to start the season simulation for year 2. Hopefully it's a better year than last year. Last year we kind of barely made the playoffs. Wasn't the greatest regular season. And then in the playoffs we just turned it on and rode our success all the way to the Western Conference Final. But we're unfortunately eliminated by the Nashville Predators. This time around, hopefully we can get a little bit better of a start to the season now that we have Yager for the full year. And yeah, just try to just have a better year this year. Yeah, free agency is actually tomorrow, or I guess today, as you guys are watching this video. A lot of big names in free agency. Over the last few days, a lot of stuff has happened. A lot of trades. Obviously, the James Neal trade, Briere to the Avalanche for P.A. Parento, Sam Gagner getting traded twice in an hour and a half. I thought that was crazy. I thought it was insane. Like, when I saw on TSN that Gagner was traded to Tampa and then traded to Arizona for a 6th round pick, I thought it was like a typo, or I thought like the deal was still being processed and there was still more that was going to be added to it, but now it was BJ Crombie and Sam Gagner for a 6th round pick. I thought that was crazy. Tampa basically gave Gagner to the Coyotes, so that was crazy. I understand why they did it though. Like, it's basically a way of buying a player out. But I mean, that was crazy. And all the buyouts that have happened. I mean, so many. Ryan Malone, Mike Ribeiro, Antoine Volchenkov, Tim Gleason. So many. Christian Ehrhoff. Of course, Brad Richards, but that was a while ago. Just a ton. And good news for Vancouver. I heard that they were talking with Ryan Miller, and Miller went out to Vancouver to speak to them for a possible deal, and I think that would be great for the Canucks. I mean, to me, the Canucks, they're not done. I think they just had a bad year. John Tortorella did not do well coaching Vancouver. Vancouver, they just don't fit the type of, defensive style that Tortorella coaches. I think I just did that for 1 week. Whatever. Vancouver, they're just not that type of team. Especially the Sedin twins, they just did not play well under Tortorella's system. So I think with the new coach coming in, with possible, Ryan Miller coming in as their starting goalie, give Eddie Lack or Jakob Markstrom some time in the minors, let them grow and get better. I think the Vancouver Canucks definitely still have a shot of being a good team. If they can pick up Miller. Paul Stastny. There's so many teams going after Stastny. Like, literally half the league is going after Stastny. I heard today that Winnipeg is no longer a possibility. Stastny said no to Winnipeg. See, that was interesting. Winnipeg, all the stuff that's going on with Evander Kane. Evander Kane favoriting a tweet saying that he should get traded to Philly. I thought that was crazy. Yeah, just so much has happened so far. We're not even in free agency yet. It's crazy. But, I don't think any other year has been this crazy, like before free agency. I don't think this much stuff has happened. Jason Spezza trade is obviously, still going. Spezza refusing to waive his no-trade clause to go to Nashville. I thought that would have been pretty cool to see Spezza and James Neal alongside of each other and kind of lead the Predators. But Spezza, I did not see him going to a team like Nashville. He's made it clear he wants to go to a team that has a chance to win the Cup next year. And Nashville definitely doesn't have that chance. And also, speaking of Nashville, they decided that they are not going to extend Michael Del Zotto, so that's another free agent that's available. The only problem I have with Del Zotto is that he's just not good enough defensively. He's just too offensive minded, and he's just no defensive ability. It's just just his issue. And he struggles offensively. He, at times, he goes on cold streaks, which isn't good. Just so many players available. So many different types of players as well, like Jerome McGinley, Camilleri, Brodeur. Brodeur, I can't see him getting signed by another team. Like, he obviously wants to leave New Jersey. He wants to go somewhere where he has a shot to win another cup, which I don't understand why. The guy's had so many cups. He's already one of the top goaltenders to ever play. I don't understand why he wants to go to another top team. And the thing about Brodeur, he thinks so highly of himself. Even at this stage of his career, he still believes that he's a Vezina Trophy goalie. He wants to go to a team that has a cup chance, and he wants to be the starting goalie of that Stanley Cup team. He still thinks he's in his 20s, and he wants to lead a team to another Stanley Cup. That's just not going to happen. There's no team in the NHL that's a Stanley Cup contending team that has no goalie. I mean, St. Louis, Brian Elliott's their goalie. Vancouver, I wouldn't say they're a cup team. There are just no teams out there that are looking for a guy like Brodeur to be their starter. And by the way, the start of this season, 13-4-3, pretty good start for our team. Yager, 15 goals. So the first line is doing well. I wonder how Landeskog is doing. Okay, so I did set it for 6 weeks. That's good. Let's actually search defenseman now. Klubkov, no. WHL. That guy's just a pylon. No, there's no good defenseman. Kanye, no, those guys never get better. I could scout the OHL some more. Bittner, Polonchuk. I'll search the WHL a little bit. Yeah, as far as the draft goes, Ekblad going number 1. I think that was a good idea by the Panthers. I heard that a lot of teams were close to getting the first, but none really came. Very close, or no team's offer was good enough for Dale Talon to Dale Talon. I messed up that name a little bit. To trade away the first overall pick. That's such a valuable thing. It's your entire franchise's future on that one draft pick. Ekblad, he can go on to be the captain of the Panthers. Lead them to Stanley Cups 10 years from now. Who knows? That's crazy. But yeah, the Oilers adding Draisaitl. Adding another young center. I mean, when are the Oilers going to be a good team? I mean, I'm waiting for that 1 year that Yakupov has a 35-goal season, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Taylor Hall have 80-point seasons, and the Oilers are just, bam, they're just a good team, but it's just not happening. Since 2010, all they keep saying is, in a few years we're going to be a good team. Well, it's been 4 years, or 5 years since they drafted Taylor Hall, and they're still not a good team. It's insane. Their biggest issue is goaltending. They haven't had, a great goalie in the net. And defensively, I mean, sure they have Andrew Ference, but he's not a top 2 defenseman. Justin Schultz is an offensive defenseman. He doesn't do anything defensively. So, when are they going to just start to play well? I mean, they got Teddy Purcell, which I think is a great player for them. They add some size to their forward positions. I mean, that's good for them. And they needed that. Yeah, they just draft. They just draft forwards. It's unfortunate that there wasn't a better defenseman higher up in the draft. I mean, I think there were only like 5 or 6 defensemen drafted in the first round. It's a shame that there wasn't a defenseman that was like listed to go in like the top 3 or top 4, where they could have drafted a defenseman, because Draisaitl, I think, was the best player available, but to me, the Oilers definitely needed a guy like Hayden Fleury or Aaron Ekblad, They need a defenseman or a goalie prospect. They just don't have any of those, that are going to turn out to be, leading the team. Buffalo Sabres, they're headed in a very good direction. I mean, for how many, they got so many draft picks. They still have not Halak. Who's it really? Or they have Neuwirth on net. They have good defense. I'm really surprised they bought out Christian Ehrhoff. Ehrhoff definitely has some good mileage left in him. I heard they just did it because in the future, if he retires early, it's going to hurt them cap-wise. But I think Ehrhoff definitely could have made them a better team. I'm not sure if Sam Reinhart's going to play this year. I'm pretty sure he will. He could get top 6 time in Buffalo. One player I'm really looking forward to see how he does next year. Actually, 2 players. First off, Marian Gaborik. I really want to see how he does next year with the Kings. This year was his contract year, and every player has a good year in his contract year. And Gaborik, they signed him to a 7-year deal. $4.9 million is a steal for a player like him, but he's not a very consistent player, and he gets injured pretty often. I'd like to see what type of season he has as a King. Was this going to be like his first full regular season in like 3 years? It's crazy. But, yeah, I think it is because last season or I guess 2 seasons ago now, he was injured for a part of the year. Then he was traded to Columbus, and he was injured there. And actually, no, it was even before that. It was the 2011-2012 playoffs. He was dealing with an injury, and they were saying that was the reason why he didn't do too well in the playoffs. Then the following year, 2012-2013, he was dealing with injuries in the beginning, and then he was traded to Columbus, and then he had some injury issues there, and then he was out for this entire season up until the playoffs. He started to play some games, did very well. So this is going to be his first full season in a couple of years. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. And also Nathan MacKinnon, winning the Calder Trophy, 60-plus points, that incredible playoff run that he had. I can't wait to see, what he had. Is he going to have another 60-plus point season? Is he going to have a 70-point season? What is McKinnon going to do in Colorado? I think that would be interesting. And also free agents. What free agents are going to go where, how they're going to do. Can guys like Brad Richards return to their 50, 60-plus point forms? Can Thomas Vanek go to a team and score, have another 30 to 40 goal season? All kinds of stuff like that. It'll be interesting. Gym rep has gone up. I didn't really do anything. I mean, the team's doing fantastic. 29, 9, and 6. Jesus. Alright, after this month, we'll stop the simulation, look at the standings real quick, and that'll be it for this episode. Yeah, wow, look at that record. That's awesome. I did not expect that. Jaromir Jagr's already at 30 goals at the All-Star break. That's insane. He's on pace for a 50-plus goal season. That's insane. But yeah, it's going to be really fun watching free. I love watching the free agency every year. It's trade deadline day, draft day, and free agency. Those 3 days are just amazing days of the year for hockey. Just so much fun watching where all players go because, one signing, one trade, one draft pick can change an entire organization. But on this video, we have about 20 seconds until we hit 15 minutes, so I'm actually going to have to look at this really quick. Currently we are, that's Montreal is 60 points, so we are first in the NHL with 70 points. That's crazy. But that's going to do it for this episode, guys. I'll see you in the next one.